Oh, okay, good. I didn't want to look at the camera.
Yeah.
I assumed
Just
I
look at
wouldn't.
me. Yeah, this looks good. Okay. So it's gonna be like me. Yeah, that's good.
No.
This is not a test.
Okay.
This is
Oh, jeez.
no,
Okay.
This is just, it's an opinion documentary, so it's literally whatever you think.
Okay.
I really just did like the most type 4 thing that you could do by saying like, I think I'm just different.
I'm Christina Nicola, and I'm a 2 on the Enneagram.
I am Mallory, and I'm a 9-wing-1 on the Enneagram.
I'm Perry, and I am a type 4 on the Enneagram.
The Enneagram is.
The Enneagram is my best friend.
I don't want to say a personality test because I know it's more than that. But
I believe the Enneagram is just like a very useful tool in order for us to, better understand ourselves, but most importantly, like better understand other people and how we can relate to other people in the best way.
It is the tool by which I develop and further better not only relationships with others, but the relationship that I have with myself. So I think it was freshman year of college. And I honestly want to say that I just happened to stumble across it.
maybe like 2 years ago, my freshman year,
Nice.
my friend was really, really into it. Yeah.
My sister introduced me to it because she was like, I think we were getting on each other's nerves, and she was like, read this book. She's like, read this book, it'll help us fight less often.
I guess the people I've met, we're all really introverted. A little awkward, but in a fun way.
Helping other people to a degree that's like unhealthy sometimes.
Do not like conflict. That's a big old boy.
There's solace sometimes in knowing that other people experience the same emotions or the same struggles that you do.
When I took the Enneagram, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true for me. So it's definitely realizing that you're over helping sometimes.
It was horrible.
So when you take the test, you get 3 of your top, and I was like, I'm not really convinced.
I definitely took the test multiple times.
I honestly think the first year that I spent studying the Enneagram, experiencing the Enneagram, and attempting to apply it to my life was a constant struggle of being angry that it was so accurate.
So I read The Road Back to You, which is a kind of famous Enneagram book, and I kind of did it that way where I read all the chapters and just the one that was most convicting, I was like, okay, that's me for sure.
And kept getting 9-wing-1. And then my friend who was really into it was like, well, duh, you're 9. So I was like, oh, okay. So that was...
I think knowing it has helped me more so know when I'm going into those over the top tendencies of you're helping people but you're not taking time for yourself, or you're doing this which is not relating to other people.
I know that I've been able to share with others a better understanding of what it's like being in my head.
I'm sure if I delved more deeply into it, it would help more, but...
And it's just it's honestly helped me so much with realizing that not everyone relates the same way.
It's made me kind of accept some of the things that I haven't been able to change.
It's been cool to bond with people about being 9s.
I think at times I feel like my Enneagram number defines me when I am personally struggling to define myself.
I mean, because I don't know that much about it, I feel like it can't define me.
Oh, I totally think that I have the power to define what it means. There are so many things that like 2s are that other numbers are or aren't.
But I think for the most part, I define the Enneagram type because I do know that a lot of 4s that I know, we have very different understandings of what a 4 is.
But like you can be like, okay, this is what it says I am, but how am I going to combat that, and how am I going to change the negative or positive aspect that you happen to not like?
Yes, actually. I've definitely like asked someone what their number is and then like Googled because I don't know what they are off the top of their head.
I feel like I still struggle with the knowing myself, but I think knowing others and how to interact with others is really important.
And it may not look like that as like, because we promote it as being like a thing, oh, like get to know yourself better. But to me, it's 100% about knowing how to love others better, which is the beauty of it.
I honestly do. Like, there are a lot of moments in time where I'll sit there and I'll be like, stop being a type 4.
Honestly, I do use it when I'm like communicating with strangers.
I don't know about day to day, but definitely like the meeting new people Googling. I think that's when it comes out.
Or like I'll think about those sorts of things, but it's mostly internal. It's never really an external display of Enneagram knowledge.
It's not about me. It's about like making them feel okay. And so I like think about the numbers in my head and I'm like, so it's just, it honestly does help me like just relate to the general public of people.
Day to day, maybe not as much.
I would say that Enneagram is so convicting. And like you first read it and you're like, I did not want to know all these horrible things about myself.
If there are less types, they're not as relatable. If there are more types and you get one specific type, you may not find that you fit into that category.
I definitely like it better than the Myers-Briggs. It's not as biased.
It's so refreshing in the end because you learn so many new tools and like so many ways to relate to other people and see that negative in you, but want to change it or want to learn how to like better handle it.
You take a test and it says like, oh, you're one of these 3 types. Like you can read them and find yourself in one. And I think a lot of personality tests don't do that. It's normally just like, here are your strengths and weaknesses. We don't have any other information for you. But it's not going to be an in-depth kind of process of here's how you get from an unhealthy level to a healthy level. Here's how you better your relationships with those around you. Here's how you better your relationship with those that you don't interact with often. And so I think that's what makes it extra personal and extra special compared to other personality types.